Steel City Drones is proud to bring you this multi-video comparison between the two biggest pro-line drones on the market, the FREEFLY ALTA and the DJI Matrice 600. In this video series, we will have a complete in-depth analysis between the two drones. Dave King of Steel City Drones has been building and flying drones for over 5 years with thousands of logged flights. Dave has built and flown drones of all different sizes and configurations and has logged many flight hours of each drone that we are comparing today.
So to get started, let's talk about what this video is going to evaluate. We're going to compare the following factors: payload limits, gimbal options, gimbal performance, upgradability, customer service, and value for cost. The first thing we're going to compare is maximum lift capabilities. The Alta 6 user's manual gives out very specific performance data relating to different elevations and temperatures. Overall, there is an 8.2 pounds difference of what you can lift at sea level compared to 8,000 feet above sea level. So it loses about 29% of its thrust lifting capability when comparing sea level to various elevations. 70 degrees Celsius is the maximum recommended operating temperature for the ESCs, and that temperature is a pretty good barometer that the system is getting maxed out. The M600 is spec'd out to be able to lift a maximum of 33 pounds at 8,000 feet above sea level. It uses a 12S voltage system, and with 21-inch props, it can support more total power while at the same time drawing lower current. In other words, this is a very well engineered system that can lift more weight at a higher efficiency. So what does all this data mean? In simple terms, the M600 can lift a lot more than the Alta 6. However, the M600 does weigh 5 pounds heavier, so some of that weight is going to offset. You might be wondering if the M600 can lift 29% more at sea level, since the Alta loses that much in thin air. What we can say is that the M600 can lift more than the advertised spec at sea level, but as to how much would require more testing. What you can take away from these numbers is that the M600 has a much higher tolerance in case a motor stops or a prop gets damaged in flight. It's also probably a good time to emphasize these are factory specs, and they should never be taken as absolutes. They should be used as a good starting reference point. With that said, we are not going to give either copter a grade in regards to lifting capability, so we leave these numbers for you to make your own conclusions. Next, we're going to analyze camera gimbal options for both drones. When using the Alta, you are rather limited to flying the MOVI series or other type of similar gimbals that can fit the Alta gimbal adapter. None of these gimbals were designed to fly, as they do not communicate with the flight controller like the DJI products. I have hundreds of hours of experience flying the Freefly MOVI on a wide variety of heavy lifters. Sometimes I've noticed occasional slight instabilities, usually on the roll axis, which requires stabilizing in post-production. Freefly has just announced that they will release a new version of the MOVI called the MOVI Pro, but its cost is high, and to how much better performance it will see in the air is to be determined. With the M600, you have multiple choices of camera gimbals. The most popular is the Zenmuse X5, which provides rock-solid stability that never needs fixed in post-production. There is also a new gimbal to fly larger cameras called the Ronin MX. Both of these camera gimbals were designed to be flown in the air and have communication between the gimbal and the flight controller. Flying the Ronin MX, we tried everything we could think of to compromise the stability of the camera gimbal, but it was just rock solid. Here's some footage from the 5D on the M600 and Ronin MX using the 24-70 lens. Here's footage of the M600 using the X5 RAW camera with a 90mm lens. Here's sample footage taken by two separate Alta owners. Both owners are using MOVI M5s with zoom lenses. both camera gimbals have been balanced and tuned to their camera lens combo. Here's a quick recap of the scores where we left off from part 1. When grading the M600's camera gimbal performance, we are grading how it performs on both the X5 and Ronin platforms. Since camera gimbal performance varies on the type of lens that's used, we are evaluating them separately. The first comparison is using prime lenses. The M600 was awarded a perfect grade because both the Ronin MX and X5 camera gimbals work perfect with prime lenses. The Alta MOVI combination does experience roll twitches from time to time that need stabilized. For zoom lenses, we found the Ronin MX and X5 camera gimbals work very well, not quite as good as a wider focal length prime lens would, but pretty close. For the Alta MOVI combo, we have found longer zoom lenses to not perform as well as shorter prime lenses. The last part of gimbal performance is to grade performance using larger and heavier cinema cameras. In this instance, we feel the Ronin MX has some limitations based on how much support equipment will fit based on its smaller cage size. The MOVI 10 and 15 models can fly larger cameras reliably with good performance and accommodate wider and larger cameras. DJI makes a complete lineup camera gimbals for just about every application. The majority of M600 users will use the standard version of the Zenmuse X5. This camera uses a micro four thirds sensor, and there are a wide variety of lenses available for it. This version does not record raw video, but it does produce raw stills. The Zenmuse X5R has the capability to record raw video on SSD cards. The Ronin MX allows users to fly their own digital SLR or even a RED camera. For flyers on the tightest of budgets, the M600 is compatible with the Zenmuse X3, which comes standard on the Inspire 1. The Zenmuse XT is a new line of thermal imaging cameras that combines the camera gimbal technology of DJI and the thermal imaging technology of FLIR, which allows users to capture images quickly with pinpoint precision over large areas. The Zenmuse Z3 is a 3.5 optical zoom lens camera, and it has a 22 times digital zoom capability. The Zenmuse Z30 is a camera with 30 times optical zoom capability, which makes it ideal for inspection type of work where the drone can't be close to the subject it's filming. As we've discussed, the FREEFLY Alta has very limited options for camera gimbals. The one advantage the Alta has over the M600 is the ability to mount the camera and gimbal on top of the Alta to eliminate the chance of getting booms in the picture. This is ideal for upward tracking shots and inspecting objects when the camera has to be pointed in an upward angle. The M600 receives a stellar grade of 9 because of all the camera gimbal options available. Its only drawback is it can't mount the camera on top of the copter. We gave the Alta an overall poor grade because of the lack of compatibility with other types of gimbals. Next, we're going to talk about upgrade options for both drones. The M600 is loaded with upgrade options. The A3 Pro is equipped with 3 IMUs and 3 GPS systems for a total of 6 redundant safeguards. If the A3 Pro detects any GPS or IMU failure in flight, it seamlessly switches to another system to maintain normal flight operations. The RTK GNSS is a high-precision GPS system which provides 2 cm accuracy positioning. Since this system does not use a compass, it's also resistant to magnetic interference generated by metal structures and high-voltage power lines, which makes this system a complete game changer. The M600 is compatible with SDK technology, which allows third-party software and hardware developers to produce products available for the M600. Mapping software is just one example of the endless features that the end user will be able to use with the M600. With the Alta, the information on the screen pretty much sums it up. There are absolutely no upgrade options for this copter. So let's give out the grades on upgradability. The M600 offers end users unlimited ways to upgrade their copter so they can be used for just about every application possible. Freefly offers no upgrade options to the existing line of copters. We surveyed a group of end users for both DJI and Freefly and compiled a summary of that data. The conclusions were that DJI is very proactive to send out firmware updates, offers phone support so you can get a person on the phone, offers live chat, and is reasonable with repairs. Many shared their frustrations that it was often difficult to get a hold of a support staff person that knew the products well. It's also been known that DJI releases updates to the Go app without thoroughly testing to see how it works and interacts with all DJI drones and products. We contacted a group of Freefly customers and asked them for their feedback regarding the customer service of Freefly. There were a lot of positive feedback regarding the professionalism and knowledge of the support techs that they engaged with. Freefly has been long known for many years to have a great forum where flyers can engage with other users as well as knowledgeable moderators to get fast answers to technical questions. Many people agreed that a big service Freefly offers is that they release service bulletins about issues that might result in a crash. Among the things people did not like about Freefly support was that they were only offering phone support through a callback service, which sometimes took 1 or 2 business days to return phone calls. Other issues include unresolved issues that were reported by Alta owners. The issues voiced are still ongoing and unresolved, which has resulted in a lot of customer frustration. Also, the consensus is that the communication resolving these issues, such as altitude hold and wind performance, has been minimal or non-existent. Let's move on to comparing the cost of these two models. To be as fair as possible, we tried to do a complete apples-to-apples comparison. For starters, if an accessory came with one model and not the other, we added the cost of that item into the other's kit cost. We also based our costs on a functional 2-person operation setup where you have a pilot and a camera operator. Since the Alta now includes an M10 in the base price of the Alta, we added a Ronin MX to the price of the M600 kit. Although not necessary, we added 2 small HD A7 monitors to the cost of both packages because, in our opinion, you need to have quality HD monitors to do jobs properly. Since the Alta does not come with batteries or chargers, we added that to the cost of its package. The Alta does not come with the HD downlink or receivers, so we added that cost as well. We also did a cost comparison using what we believe will be a popular package many M600 users will purchase. Removing the Ronin MX, we added the Zenmuse X5 camera gimbal and camera to the cost of the M600 package. By doing this, it only added $100 to the total cost of the kit and eliminated the need to get a separate camera. Lastly, we did a cost comparison to see the total cost difference if you purchased most of the available options we discussed, such as the Ronin MX and the X5 camera gimbal, as well as the upgraded DRTK GPS system. By getting all these options for the M600, it still costs less than the Alta package. The one misconception I keep hearing is that the M600 requires more batteries, which drives up the cost to own a M600. To dispel that theory, I included a sample of what a typical job might be for a client. This sample job would require 84 minutes of flight time. As you can see, you need more batteries for the M600 because it takes 6 at a time. However, you need to change batteries less, and the overall cost is virtually the same, so there's no advantage for either. The Alta requires less batteries overall, but the M600 gives you more flight time per set, so the cost is a wash. So let's evaluate bang for the buck. The M600 received a score of 8 because it's very hard to beat for the cost. Since our intent throughout this video was to be as harsh as we could on grading, we feel that DJI could have done a little better job to offer the M600 as a more ready-to-fly product compared to the way it's sold and packaged. The Alta received a poor grade because, in our opinion, a copter of this price should perform like a top-of-the-line product. As you can see from the overall grades, it was consistently outperformed by a drone that cost a third of its price. This brings us to the total scores of our performance comparison. Again, our goal was to judge harshly because we have high expectations for drones for our customers. We let you be the final judge for the scoring. Okay, so there you have it. So that's these two drones. I tried to compare them as detailed as possible, show you, some of the pros and cons of each. There is no one drone that does everything exceptionally well. A lot of this stuff comes down to taste and preferences, pricing, quality, build, flying characteristics. There's a lot of different type of things that go into what you want to purchase. But hopefully this video was able to show you some of the things that, at least from what I saw from my perspective, and hopefully can help you as well. If you have any questions, please give me a call. Thanks. If you like the detailed comparison we performed, let our experience help you with your drone needs. Steel City Drones offers complete sales, support, and training. We customize each drone purchase by creating a video for each customer so they can see their drone in action. We explain all the features and functions of the drone just like you were there standing right next to us. We also offer personalized drone training sessions to train you to fly like a professional. Contact us for more details.